And there it was, Mary's birthday, a week prior to that very day.
You opened the safe?
Yeah, and I think you need to see this. Can you tell me what it says?
All right. I think this might be useful for the investigation, Mr. Detective. He left everything to me, except some boxing trophies and knickknacks that'll go to Bobby Yale.
When was it signed?
It was written 4 years ago, just weeks after I moved to Buffalo.
Do you think Bobby Yale read it before he disappeared?
Maybe.
Congratulations. You're one lucky lady.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
All right. Thanks. A few bucks. Just petty cash. I never would have taken Dunn for a gun owner. I never asked about the gym's insurance.
That's exactly what I'm reading now. So far, it looks like your standard small business policy.
I think I know who had your mother's ring.
You do?
Mary Purnell. I think she was in love with your father.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you and your father get along?
Let's just say our relationship got better when I left for Sunny University. An 8-hour drive from here.
Meaning?
I'll lay it out for you, Mr. Blacksad. My father, Joe Dunn, disappeared the day my mother died. He became a shell of himself. Joe Dunn, my legal guardian. A man who gave me food, shelter, clothing, and an education. And that's more than you need to know.
What's in those papers you're going through?
Red tape.
Great. If you find something, please let me know.
I thought you were the detective. You do your job, and I'll do mine.
What can you tell me about Jake?
I thought you were friends. Guess I was wrong. He and my father were friends, so don't go down that road.
Did you get along with Bobby Yale? Okay. Forget it.
I wouldn't give a damn about him if it weren't for this stupid gym his stupid fight is supposed to save. Happy?
What do you think about Mary, the cleaning lady?
Can't say. I barely know her. And I'm not one who's quick to judge other people.
Thanks. That's it for now. I get it. You don't like me. But there's something you need to know.
I'm all ears.
Rest assured, I'll find Bobby Yale.
Duly noted, Mr. Blacksad.
Did you know Joe Dunn had a gun in his safe?
No way, man. He hated firearms. Although, when Bobby Yale was a teenager, he went through a crazy phase. Even dropped out of the gym and joined the gang. Nothing serious. Early one morning, he broke in the gym. Joe was already here and caught him red-handed. Bobby pointed the gun at Dunn and ordered him to open the safe. So, Joe opened it and asked Bobby to put the gun aside, leave the gang and start boxing again. I got here 5 minutes later and found Bobby crying like a baby in Joe's arms. Then he just stood up and put on his gloves.
I'd prefer a yellow Cadillac, but I can't complain. Looks like a chest expander, doesn't it? Do you remember anything else about the day you found the thingamajig with the springs and the paint can?
Yeah, no. Wait, yeah. Well, no, now that I think of it, no. Hey, pal, how about thanking a good-looking goat with a cigarette?
I don't think that's a good idea. You've got one nasty cough.
Oh, come on. You know, cigarettes have lots of very healthy properties. Oh, come on. It's just a smoke, lady.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, you think you're not responsible for my pathetic state? Think you're not to blame? It's the government that shipped me off to war.
They shipped me off too.
Oh, right. So then you know what it's like to kill too. Well, then another sad hobo shouldn't be a problem for you, Professor.
Yeah, I killed people.
And yet, you don't want to help me die. Wait, but that's not what I wanted to say. Oh, well, you know we goats tend to jump from one thing to another. The government paid for everything. Army fatigues, rations, weapons, lodging at hookers, drugs. Do you know where that money comes from? Taxes! Your taxes, my dear friend. You helped them cut my legs. They declare war every chance they get, so that the weapon industry that finances their campaigns gets richer and richer and richer. And that's how we finance their wars. So the slightest connection with corruption turns us into accomplices. Unless one manages to keep at arm's length. That is what I did, my loyal disciple, at the Million-Star Hotel. So, do you like your master? Agree?
Hey, what's your name? You never told me. I know you're hiding something.
What?
You know what? You're the only woman who ever called Dunn Joey, except his late wife.
My goodness. I can't talk here. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Can you wait a while?
Can I get a refill over here, Mary?
Coming right up.
Mary Purnell, the angel Joe Dunn found in his golden years.
We'd been seeing each other for almost 2 years. It all started with, well, weekdays I start cleaning the gym at dawn, before my shift at the diner. Joey always came in early, just a little after I got there. He used to say it was the best time for the worst task of the day.
Oh, I know exactly what he meant. Did he help you clean?
No, poor Joey. I would never have allowed that. He did more than enough. Would even clean on my days off. Paperwork. He just hated it. But that was just him. Instead of putting off the things he couldn't stand, he did them as soon as possible. One morning, he saw me crying. I was having a rough day and...
He tried to make you smile.
He pointed at the coffee machine. You need a cup of joe and some fresh air. That was the first of many cups on the rooftop.
Which is where you seduced him.
I'm a decent woman, Mr. Blacksad. You might be too young to understand this, but real love has little to do with seduction. One day, we realized those rooftop coffees were the best part of our day, so we began to spend more time together.
But you never told anyone. Or perhaps you told someone else?
No one. Joey didn't want Sonia to hear about it from someone else before we were sure of the relationship. He was afraid that our relationship would only make matters worse. Until one day, on the rooftop, we realized just how serious our relationship was, and we decided to turn those moments into a lifetime.
So he asked you to marry him?
Yes, of course. He gave me the wedding ring, and we decided to tell the world. He said he needed to share that happiness with his little girl. Turns out, he wasn't that happy after all.
What about Yale? Wasn't he like a son to him?
Maybe you already noticed, I have a slight cold. I really should be heading home.
Thanks for sharing all that with me. Take care.
I lost my scarf a while back, not sure where. And now, if you'll excuse me, that's my bus stop. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Blacksad.
But Thanks. That's it for now. He opened it during the war? That's odd. Blacksad here.
Please don't tell me my husband...
Yes, Mrs. Colbert. I'm afraid you were right to hire me.
Oh, that filthy good for nothing. I'm gonna rip his horn out.
Smirnoff.
Joe Dunn, the boxing coach. You hear anything about his death?
Blacksad, is that you?
You got me. How's everything, Chief?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks for asking. Too much work as usual. As for Joe Dunn, he hanged himself in the story. I'm too busy, John. I can't afford to put a single man on the case. Why are you asking?
Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get married.
Great. Call What's News. They'll know what to do with such an incredibly interesting piece of information.
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Life is often off-key, like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music. And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
You look tired, John.
I can't help it. It's just the way we cats are.
Well, I can't help but be glad to see you. Yep, I'm beat. I'm starving. Just got back from the annual police medical. Not only did I have to fast, but I also had to chug 2 enormous glasses of water. John, you alright?
Can we just talk about Dunn?
Okay, no problem. The thing is, I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye. Even if it was lying on top of this table.
You said you were starving. Why don't you go to the counter and order something?
Yeah, sure, good idea. If you'll excuse me.
Interesting.
Now that I think of it, I better eat at home. It's healthier.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now... Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I'll try, but sometimes there's no alternative.
All right. In any case, keep me posted, will you?
Sure, you can count on it.
Take care, John.
As always, Smirnoff had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite. I'm much taller than Dunn, and I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least. Dunn must have punched the can while he was arguing with Yale. I guess that explains why he threatened to call the fight off. Bobby Yale. I don't know if you had a motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon. Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. but I never thought he'd go that far.
A part of me thinks Bobby Yale didn't do it.
But the chest expander, the box in his locker, the marks on my father's neck, it all leads to him. In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
I'm afraid I have to say no. I can't ride in a fancy car with a wrinkled suit.
Oh, I don't see why not. In any case, if those little wrinkles make you uncomfortable. I always play it nice and safe. Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
What kind of help do you need?
A simple exchange of information. You're a good detective. And I, well, let's just say I have my own ways of making people talk.
I think I'll have to pass this time.
Why? What? Do my own ways scare you? Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply two grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
I can't really say.
Well, I can. Nothing. But I'll tell you what is wrong. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country, a place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me, With all due respect, it's none of your business.
Ooh, all right. Never mind then. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
All right, I get your point.
Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
Sure, but there's no room for your ways in civil disobedience.
My ways? Oh, I know what you're getting at. But what's past is past. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first, but when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
Yeah, the two of them.
Bastards. But don't you worry. I'll have a talk with those two. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. You see, a lot of people work for me. Many families depend on my business. Not only that, St. Christopher's Hospice practically lives on my donations. The widows of my late employees are set for life. Their kids get free schooling. The cops leave me alone because they know my business doesn't hurt anyone. On the contrary. And, it looks like we're here.
Yale's apartment?
I told you I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, maybe you'll change your mind and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Colbert! Wilson!
The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Can't say this is the ideal drink for an athlete. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch.
Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
A woman's fragrance. Almost angelical. That means she's been here recently, but why? What does Sweet Mary have to do with Yale? the murder suspect. I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know. So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby? So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby? Seems like Bobby inherited something more than boxing skills from his father, besides the tendency to vanish into thin air, of course. Copy 1 of 3. Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago? Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. Ugh. 17th century French fables. There must be one boring old lady. When I left, I told O'Leary I hadn't found a thing. The minute I was alone, I left for Mary's. But before all that, I took a small parting gift for her. I've never trusted angels.
Mr. Blacksad? What a...
Surprise? When they fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
How did you open the door to his apartment?
I think it was already open. Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out. What's your relationship with Bobby Yale?
He was like a son to Joey, and we were about to get married, so, you know.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I think you and Bobby Yale conspired to kill Dunn.
No! How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. Blacksad.
What?
7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary. Do you know what that means when you're born in North Arlington, Alabama?
Segregated healthcare, with far worse conditions for colored people.
We even have different water fountains, for God's sake. The separate but equal doctrine and all that.
That crap.
And all the lies. That's why I moved here. No one knows what color my great-grandparents were.
I completely understand you, Mary.
Just think if you were also a woman. He's my nephew, Mr. Blacksad. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The 3 of us went on that trip to Luna Park.
So this is where Joe Dunn comes in.
Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story. You should have told me this sooner.
I've been hiding it all my life. I'm sorry.
Your secret is safe with me.
Thanks. It means a lot to me.
TV and radio all in one. Where will these mad times lead us? Fresh out of the oven. The whole room smells like pie. Mary smells like... Actually, the whole room smells like a pie fresh out of the oven, so I can't identify any other fragrances. About Sonia Dunn and the ring. Well, I told her about you and Joe Dunn. I had no choice.
And what did she say?
I don't think she took it too well, but she might come to understand it. Are you sure you don't know where your nephew is?
I've looked everywhere. He's nowhere to be found.
Don't worry. I'll find him.
Thank you.
That cherry pie smells so good. I'm starting to get hungry.
Thanks. I pulled it out of the oven right before you arrived. Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ? Coffee?
Water's good, thanks. She's wearing the same clothes in both pictures, so she's probably telling the truth. Sorry, I was going to help you with that. You should open a bakery and sell these pies.
Thanks. Joey used to say the same thing.
I couldn't help but notice a queen-size bed in the room.
You what?
Sorry. I had to make sure Bobby Yale wasn't hiding in there.
Oh, yeah, sure. Joey bought this place. It was going to be our home after the wedding. I left my apartment and moved in so I could save some money.
If he had left his own apartment and moved in, you could have saved twice the money.
I'm no hooker, Mr. Blacksad.
Now that there's almost no pie left, the scent has also disappeared. Interesting. Now Mary smells like a huge dog. Mary, when are you going to stop lying? I know your nephew's here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Stop playing around and tell me. Where is he?
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead. He's not here.
If he's not here right now, he must have left shortly before I got here. Where did he go?
Shortly before you got here? I wish.
Look, if he's making you do this, just tell me. I'll protect you.
Bobby would never do that.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who smells like that. That's where Bobby Yale's scent is coming from. So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go.
Mary, for Christ's sake, put that knife down, would you?
Livora.
Mary, I came here to help.
I mean it.
I don't want to hurt you.
Leave her alone!
Bobby!
side, Bobby.
But I'm not on yours.
Bobby!
Call an ambulance. Do as I say. Go on, call an ambulance. Do it now. In the face of a heart attack, there's two things you can't forget. One, stay calm. Two, 1 chest compression per second. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi. 6 Mississippi. 7 Mississippi. 8 Mississippi. 9 Mississippi.
Bobby! Oh, Bobby! Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Thank you.
I had lots of reasons to consider this a great day. I had investigated a suicide case. I had discovered that, in truth, we were dealing with a murder. I had found and captured the prime suspect. And I had saved a life. And yet, everything in me screamed that something was going wrong. Terribly wrong.
Promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I want a gun!
What the hell?
Bang, bang, bang!
A fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualty.
I hate detectives.
Bang, bang, bang!
You're dead meat, cat.
That you, Smirnoff?
You seem agitated. Nightmare?
How long have I been sleeping?
I just got here. Anyway, why don't you go home? In his current condition, Yale's not going anywhere. Besides, we'll take it from here.
Thanks, but that won't be necessary. I can watch Yale on my own.
No doubt. I just saw exactly how vigilant you always are. As for what happened yesterday, I asked you not to get involved, or at least give me a heads up.
If I hadn't intervened, Bobby Yale could be dead.
If you had warned me, maybe we could have avoided a heart attack. Anyway, what's done is done. When exactly did you realize that he killed Dunn? Out of sheer curiosity. I'm a cop after all.
To be honest, I'm not so sure Yale killed anyone.
How about the motive? Any ideas?
I've got several theories, but that's about it.
In any case, hopefully Yale will tell us more.
Would you let me ask him some questions when he wakes up?
I know you will, with or without my permission, so I'd rather not feel betrayed. In exchange, drop by the station when you can. Your investigation could really help my men. Who, by the way, must be waiting for me to interrogate Mary Purnell. Boy, she was hard to pry from Yale's side.
She's been through a lot in the past days. Be nice to her.
Of course. In spite of it all, we're not just vigilantes. And as for you, go get some rest. God knows you need it.
I can't promise anything.
Tell the nurses to look at that face of yours. You look like a film detective in his last scene.
I'm afraid this film isn't over yet.
For your sake, I hope you're wrong. You're in charge now, officer.
Okay.
I'll send you relief in 6 hours. Understood?
Doctor,
Who are?
Oh, detective. Congratulations. You fared pretty well against that kid. Better than most would have. Now, if you'll excuse me.
let's just say I got lucky. We, as a society, simply don't trust reptiles. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is our extended belief that there's logic to that distrust, that it's natural and well-founded. How's Yale? Is he awake?
Oh, yeah. Go check on him before he falls asleep again. Although, try not to bother him with too many questions.
Will this have long-term effects on his health?
It's too soon to tell. He did have a heart attack after all.
Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I rarely get to interrogate a suspect with his guard down in a place as quiet as this. Getting the chance to study his body language with no distractions is a rare gift. His heart rate is increasing. It could mean that he's lying, but it could also just be pure, unadulterated rage. He's clenching his fist, a sign of contained anger. He's looking straight at me. If he couldn't hold my stare, I'd think he's lying. But that's not the case. Clenched fist, fast heart rate, fixed stare. He feels some genuine rage towards me. I'm sorry you don't want to see me, but I saved your life, son.
Maybe my aunt feels gratitude. I certainly don't. Luckily, I just got my medication. I'll be snoozing soon.
All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Who killed Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me? Joe hanged himself.
Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true? He was murdered.
I know the murder weapon was yours.
What? The rope? I don't get it. What weapon do you mean?
Don't play with me, boy. The chest expander.
An expander? I've never had one of those.
All right. Let's just say that I believe you. The murderer killed Dunn with a chest expander and planted evidence to make us believe it was suicide. But he also left enough clues behind to make sure we found the true murder weapon. Then he put the chest expander box in your locker to frame you. Do you know anyone that twisted and who also happens to have a motive?
I don't know.
What about Sonia Dunn?
Sonia? I doubt it. She's odd, but she's his daughter.
I've seen worse, believe me. Maybe it was... What am I saying? Jake could never pull off something like that. Nothing. Never mind. What about Frank Cassidy? Do you think he has a motive?
Maybe. A few weeks ago, Joe took me to a boxing managers association meeting.
Headed by Cassidy.
Yeah. He was obsessed with making it illegal for boxers to fight without a manager. Or without an associated manager. Everyone seemed to go along with it until Joe spoke up. He said that would lower us to mob status. That Cassidy had founded the association just to make money by monopolizing the sport. That made others think twice. And Cassidy ended up empty-handed.
Poor Cassidy. Desmond O'Leary certainly seems twisted enough. Did he have anything against Dunn?
I'm not sure if they knew each other. At least not in person. About a month ago, Joe kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym. He was trying to give a business card to...
James Giambi.
Yeah, exactly. Did Jake tell you about that?
Something like that.
Blacksad. I think I owe you an, You know, my father disappeared when I was 6, right after winning a fight. We never heard from him again. Do you know what that does to a kid? Who knows where I'd be if Joe Dunn hadn't been in my life. Even when I lost my way and put a gun to his head years later, he still took me under his wing and managed to steer me in the right direction. And now that he's gone, you're risking your life to find his murderer. Thanks.
I'm just doing... The number of cigarette butts is inversely proportional to my hours of sleep. Ah, damn. The hands say a lot about what's going on inside a person. Is that eye movement normal? He seems restless. Should I tell someone? Ugh.
See? There's no fever whatsoever. He must be having a nightmare.
Are you sure?
Wouldn't you have nightmares too after what he went through yesterday? I know I sure wouldn't sleep.
I have nightmares myself, but those go way back.
Oh, the poor thing. Do you know what my nightmare is? It's that witch I have to work with. Oh. Good thing she's got trauma surgery at 12:30, but I wish it were a little sooner, you know? Anyway, thank you for letting me know, and for bringing him in. You don't know how excited I am to be involved in a criminal case.
It might not be important, but I need to take a look at his medical report. No, the footprints don't match. If Yale killed Dunn, he did it without stepping in the paint, or in different shoes. Hi.
You're awake, handsome?
Yale's medical report is right there. Mind if I take a look?
No, I don't think so, handsome.
I'll take a pack of more of these, please.
Honey, get me a pack of Morleys for Mr. Hanson.
What if you show me Yale's report and I buy you dinner?
You're handsome, all right, but I'm not stupid.
I won't be able to read Yale's medical report if she's around. It seems like the Doe nurse will be assisting Dr. Talbot during his 12:30 surgery. In 4 hours. Could I get them to operate any sooner?
Trauma? Sherry speaking.
Get Dr. Gregor Talbot, please.
Yes, 1 minute. No, actually, Dr. Talbot won't be in until 12:30 according to my registry. Can I ask who's calling, please?
Sherry, this is Dr. Talbot. We have to reschedule the 12:30 procedure. I want everyone in the operating room in 5 minutes. If anyone gives you any grief, tell them it's a matter of life or death. Understood?
A matter of life and death, a matter of life and death. You gotta be kidding me.
All right now. How do I put this? I need something that you...
Only if you guess why I'm giving it to you.
You want to help me solve a criminal investigation.
Well, aren't you smart? But be quick about it. You hear me, huh? If that witch comes back...
What? What does it say here?
You know doctors. The top handwriting is mine. Let's see. Extrasystole and dehydration caused by panic attack.
Extra what?
You know, arrhythmia, like skipped heartbeats.
What about this here?
It's a good thing I know that Mr. Yale is in Dr. Ferguson's hands. Otherwise, I'd be worried.
Hey, no means no, miss.
You really don't know who I am, do you?
Miss, I've got orders. And the fact is, those orders say that...
Here you are, Miss Dunn.
Huh?
Tell him, Blacksad. I can't get through that thick skull of his.
You see, Highfill, she's the owner of Yale's gym.
A woman?
Whether the kid recovers or not depends entirely on her.
Between you and me, and all due respect, miss, but aren't we taking this woman's liberation a little too far? All right, let her in, but she's your responsibility.
Thanks for convincing the cop.
You hired me to find Yale. I wanted you to see him with your own eyes.
I see. Anyway, you did your job. I'll send you a check the day after the fight. You can leave now.
Huh, no. She's gonna do something stupid. So, don't.
He killed my father! You said so yourself!
No, I told you I thought he was innocent.
He almost killed you in that floozy's apartment! How could he not be guilty?
No, no!
Why did you say that?
Sonia, don't.
He killed my father! You said so yourself!
No, I told you I thought he was innocent.
He almost killed you in that floozy's apartment! How could he not be guilty?
You can't take justice into your own hands. Believe me, it will haunt you as long as you live.
Shut up! None of that matters! How could he not be guilty?
All right, shoot. I'll arrest you myself. Are you that eager to rot in prison? Shh, it's okay.
Uncle Tim!
Sweetie, I came back from Los Angeles as soon as I could.
I told you not to rush back.
Come on now, honey. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend?
No, this is John Blacksad, the detective who found Bobby.
Oh, so this is strictly professional. I thought you had some good news for your uncle.
No, Uncle Tim, don't be silly.
Don't be silly. Look at you. Smart, educated, as dazzling as the brightest of stars. Every single man in this city should be at your feet. Come on, we'd better let him rest. I see. Let's say you're right and Bobby Yale is innocent. Who should we focus on now?
We?
Well, your father turned down my money, but he made me promise one thing, that I'd take care of you if anything happened to him.
But I can...
I know you're perfectly capable of managing that gym on your own, but we don't even know if he'll be ready to fight Stone. Besides, someone seems really invested in stopping that fight, and someone has to pay Mr. Blacksad to get to the bottom of all this. Please, talk some sense into her.
Your uncle is right. Your father wouldn't have wanted you to go through this alone.
See? Listen to the detective.
All right. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much.
All right, stop crying or you'll ruin your makeup, honey. Now fix yourself up and I'll buy you some breakfast.
Wait, my purse.
I'll get it. It must be...
Blacksad, wait a minute. I think she needs some time alone, just like you and me. Listen, boy, do whatever it takes to find Joe's murderer. Whatever it takes. If things get messy, don't worry. I'll clean them up. Deal?
I'm not a vigilante.
Well, suit yourself. Just get that ball to the end zone.
No. Are you telling stories about the great Iron Arm again?
Wait a minute. Of course. The Milestones quarterback. Tim Iron Arm Thorpe.
It's a good thing folks usually recognize me sooner. Blacksad, you coming to breakfast?
I'd love to, but I have to go ask for a favor. Jake wasn't at home or at his usual bar. But on the third try, I found him. Huh. That lizard isn't Yale's doctor. Not the smartest cookie in the jar, nor the most tactful. But do I trust him? No. Do I consider him a friend? Yes. I hope he never feels inclined to hit me. He's twice my size. He's been training with those same shorts for who knows how long. Hey, Jake.
Not now, John.
Hey, Jake.
Damn it! Wait a minute.
Hey, Jake.
I said not now.
Hey, Jake.
Damn it! Wait a minute.
Hey, hi.
Hey, focus, will ya?
This one's got extra padding, just like Jake. How many hits does a boxer take to the head throughout his career? Hey, Jake.
I said not now. All right, that's enough. Take 5. Go on. What, John? What's so important?
Have you noticed anything strange about Sonia?
I don't know. Yesterday she said she hated the gym. But it also seemed like she wanted to save the place. Do you get any of this? I sure don't.
The gym is paying her way through college, and she still has a year left. I guess she doesn't have any other option. Could you tell me where O'Leary's headquarters are?
What for? No. You could get me into trouble. No way.
If we weren't friends, I'd tell the police you work for O'Leary. Although, if we were friends, you wouldn't hesitate to help me. Tell me, Jake, are we friends or not?
Damned cat. All right. O'Leary's hideout is in the basement of a Chinese restaurant. But I don't even know how to get in.
Why are you coaching that guy?
Oh, that's right. You don't know. Sonia asked me to run the gym. Well, at least the fun part. As soon as Bobby Yale's back on his feet, I'll turn him into a champ. I'll make him crush stone. Just you wait. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Couldn't you just stop working for O'Leary?
Yeah, I guess I could.
Well, I'll see you tonight. See you there.
Ronald, the break's over.
After 30 hours of work and several beatings, every bone in my body ached for a bed.
Now it's my turn.
So I went home to recharge. Because the night ahead was bound to be promising. What do you know about that basement?
Well, let me think. Nothing?
Come on, Jake, for Christ's sake. Strain that little boxer brain. You must know something.
I've come to get O'Leary several times, but they always make me wait in the dining room. One day it was so late that the restaurant was closed. They made me call from a payphone in that alley over there to let them know I was here. A few minutes later, O'Leary came out the back door, that red one there.
All right. You stay by the payphone. Wait till I'm inside. If you see anyone, call the same number you did that one time. Let it ring twice and hang up. Got it?
Screw you.
A promising night indeed. No. Plan will only work if O'Leary doesn't know I've been here.
What happened? Should we run for it?
Do I look like I'm in a hurry? Okay, I'm going back to the alley. I'll let you know if I need anything. A bit too high to climb. If the basement I'm looking for were in that building. Would he even notice if I got in? Does he need a shotgun to deal with suppliers? I'm guessing it lights up when you ring at the main door. Maybe it leads to the basement. Something tells me he'd notice me no matter how stealthy I was.
Stupid rabbit.
Or maybe this is the way to the basement and not that corridor.
Are you done?
What do you think? There's a guy watching TV inside the restaurant. A red panda, I think.
Doesn't ring a bell. I don't recall any panda waiters. What's taking you so long?
You want to switch places? I need you to go to the front door and ring the bell.
Alright, is there a bar in that alley? Have you been drinking?
Count to 30, ring the bell, then run for the car. Got it?
Whoa, you better send a bunch of Italians my way after this. So, now what are you gonna do?
I'll open the door with my lockpicks. Once I'm in, I'm still not sure if I'll take the hall or the door on the right. The lock on that door was not your standard model. I had to give it my all. Why do they have so many paper notes? Do they get that many orders? Huh. I was expecting some frozen bodies. It won't budge. There's one on each table, except this one. Huh. Looks like those colorful notes weren't restaurant orders after all. The odds are incredibly in Stone's favor. I guess that he's the reigning champion, and Bobby Yale is just a contender, but maybe word got out about his condition. Does O'Leary have a network of pals? Wow. I didn't realize you could place so many bets on a single baseball game. A little thingamajig that adds on its own. What'll they think of next? It looks like a summary of all the bets that come in. Day, amount, bet, wagerer. Wait a minute. Did O'Leary himself bet $5,000 on Yale? Sometimes I forget that criminals, even the office variety, have family and kids. Anyway, maybe things aren't so bad on the dark side. 16 days until the fight. Could that be Ireland? I'd say that's Ireland too. A Crossler? The good news is, I don't need lockpicks to open it. The bad news, I didn't bring explosives. Even Dunn had a gun in his office. O'Leary couldn't possibly be the exception. Dunn had $200 in his safe. O'Leary had about $20,000 in a drawer. Ireland, of course. This guy's obsessed. painting concealed file after file of celebrity reports with all sorts of shady information, ranging from S to Z. Almost all of them were athletes. Is that what O'Leary meant when he said that detectives and police officers were his friends? I wonder how many spy for him. If I were to pitch in, who would I spy on? In Bobby Yale's folder, all I found was a log of his incredible stats as an aspiring champion. 20 victories, 16 by knockout. Although, at the end of the report, someone had underlined one word several times: untouchable. According to Stone's report, he was so clean, not to mention hard to corrupt, that O'Leary opted for a more subtle strategy. Apparently, when he broke up with the tennis player Helen Moore, he set her up with Stone. Lucky for him, they hit it off. As I put away the report, I stopped in my tracks. Did I really want to risk knowing what O'Leary had on my good friend, the incorruptible police commissioner? I sighed in relief. O'Leary had tried to buy Smirnoff on several occasions, but failed. Luckily, O'Leary had nothing on him, or me. Thorpe had been a rising football star before the war, which he came back from with honors and decorations. After the truce, he resumed his career. He won 3 season trophies and a couple of MVP awards. He retired after an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. He started his own sports advertising agency 4 years ago, but according to the files, O'Leary hadn't even tried to corrupt him. Limited edition copy 2 of 3. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance. Your eyes act like the moon. If they're not together anymore, why does O'Leary keep so many pictures of romantic moments with Helen Moore? I hope I never become the object of O'Leary's obsession. Dunn's integrity was legendary, even in O'Leary's shady reports. Just like Yale had said, Dunn had kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym when he found him snooping around. The report on Yale's father was the shortest of all, since only his name was left. Why? Cassidy's report was possibly the longest among all of O'Leary's files. Apparently, their rivalry went way back. So much so that they spied on each other in the most unthinkable ways. At least I was able to confirm what Yale had told me. Cassidy had threatened Dunn after he refused to join the managers' union. Strange as it may seem, the reports revealed that O'Leary had hired Jake as a bodyguard precisely because he was absolutely clean. Apparently, he liked to surround himself with honest people when he mingled with the high society. Helen Moore's file was, by far, one of the juiciest. She had been just a run-of-the-mill tennis player until O'Leary launched her career by rigging enough games to help her climb the ranking. However, O'Leary hadn't fixed any of her games in over a year. In spite of that, she remained undefeated. Be as it may, it was clear that O'Leary had enough information to ruin her career. I'd say O'Leary has threatened Stone with ruining Moore's career. Luckily or not, files in through R included no one that I could somehow connect to the case. Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night.
Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night. And we're working extra hours. Hey, Jimmy, what do you think about that?
I think he's scared stiff, Desmond.
Why's that, Jimmy? We're giving you the red carpet treatment. We even let you in the boss's office.
You're one lucky fellow.
You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy. Yeah.
Speak, you moron.
Yeah, very well. Why are you... Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
And tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
No, please. I didn't do anything. I swear.
O'Leary, the police have surrounded me.
You don't need to worry about that. You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Speak, you moron.
Yeah, very well. Why are you...
Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
And tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
No, please. I didn't do anything. I swear.
He was a good guy. Of course, you already knew that. You knew him better than me, right?
He was my cousin.
That's why I hired you, Jimmy. You see, Martin was a dear friend. And his widow said you were a nice kid. That you do a good job. And you needed the money. And I have a soft spot for those in need.
Please.
But, you know what? I talked to her just yesterday. She told us you did some naughty things to her with that gun, Jimmy.
No.
That's no way to treat a widow, is it?
She's lying. Why would I do that?
What about the kid? Are you so sure you know how long a kid can hold his breath? With his little head inside a toilet bowl?
Son of a bitch.
I didn't want to. It was his idea.
Selfishly, I was glad I hadn't risked my life to save Jimmy. Maybe not even someone like him deserves to die. But one could also argue that I didn't deserve to die for someone like him.
Who's your boss? Give me a name!
Cassidy. It was his idea. He said you'd hired me if I'd managed to scare the widow, and I just...
All right. Let's just calm down now. Okay? It's gonna be okay. There are two sacred principles that rule my life. The first principle is the love for my family. I'd do anything to protect them. The second principle, I never put my future in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I would even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two crucial principles, I take matters into my own hands. You see where this is going? For the first time, I got someone killed, even though all I really did was rat him out.
No, I just...
Stop interrupting me, Jimmy! It's not polite! You're all the same. So rude! You know what? Let's leave it at that. You're going to give a message to that disgusting walrus Cassidy, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Yeah, sure.
Good boy.
What's the message?
Oh, Jimmy. You still don't get it, do you? You are the message. Come on. Wrap him up. Make sure Cassidy gets the message for breakfast, will you? I hope he chokes on it.
Got it.
Where are you hiding, little fishy? Once again, you didn't get to hear the end of my story.
What you got? What? Just where do you think you're going, putty cat?
Two sacred principles rule my life. The first is the love I feel for my family. The second, never leave destiny in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I'd even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two principles, I take matters into my own hands. The first time that someone died because of me, even though all I did was rat him out, well, that guy ended up in the Hudson River, right off Pier 27. He's got to be even wetter than that fish by now. You should have seen his face.
It's interesting what comes to mind when you think you're about to die. Suddenly all I could think about was how much I wanted a pet fish.
Anyway, I was 14 and I still dream about it.
By then, I was adamant about buying a fish. But first...
Never again.
Nowadays, whether it's me who pulls the trigger or not, I have zero regrets. What's more, I sort of enjoy it.
In case anyone had any doubts about who's the boss around here, I'll put my dirty feet on his luxurious table to prove that all of this is mine. The guy never hesitates to pull the trigger. Even if I hadn't seen what he did to Jimmy, I'd know he's not bluffing. When a mob boss declares his love of family, it can only mean that A, he won't hesitate to ruin yours, and B, he's cheating on his wife. His pupils are dilated, and there's a slight grin on his face. The bastard is enjoying himself. I knew I had it in me to get out of that place alive. No. O'Leary's wife is having an affair with Colbert? Should I serve this to O'Leary on a silver platter? Or threaten Colbert so he'll get me out of this mess?
And, well, that's it, I think. You know, Blacksad, I never made it this far. Congratulations, you're going in style.
I didn't want to interrupt you because I respect you and your word. Colbert told me to come here.
What? Me? No way!
You did what? Colbert? When?
Well,
Yeah, remember? At that bar on 33rd and Main Street. Don't you remember that cocky drunk guy?
No.
He kept bragging about how he was banging another guy's wife.
Oh? Oh, yeah. Weird times, huh?
Yeah, and you congratulated me for finding Yale and saving your life.
Several times.
Then I asked you if O'Leary would thank me somehow.
And I thought it was a very reasonable assumption.
And then you told me to come here to ask the boss himself.
Yeah, I think you deserve it. Right, Desmond?
Oh, Blacksad. Thank you. And sorry for jumping to conclusions. First, you get a random beating from my men. And here we are, When you shared what you'd found in Yale's apartment, well, it made me sort of want to trust you. But as you well know, you can't trust anyone in this world. Take it. It's only fair.
I want to bet it all on the fight, on Sonia Dunn's behalf.
Oh, what a romantic you are. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance.
I guess, if you say so.
Same difference. Anyway, go ahead. Place your bet.
I bet it all on Yale.
Oh, Blacksad. Aren't these odd hours to pay me a visit? Your message was important, but certainly not urgent. It could have waited until tomorrow, don't you think?
We cats and wolves hunt at night. I wish I was a noir fiction writer. At this very moment, I could write a couple of pointed, ironic remarks for the narrator to recount what I just lived through. The dark, crooked alleys of New York reminded me of the state of my own soul. No. Fall loomed over me with the... Fall struck me with the full force of my long-lost youth. Nah, not that. Fall descended on me with the full weight of a guilty conscience. God, that's worse.
What were you thinking? He wants him alive!
I felt fall seep through my bones like the pain of a good beating. Mediocre, but appropriate. Against all odds, next morning I got up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I had my kind, unknown assailants to thank. The beating had taken its toll, but for the first time in months, I'd slept like a baby.
Oh, come on, Helen, focus! All right, take 5. We'll work on that double backhand later.
Well, Mr. Blackmore, what can I do for the FBI?
Cooperate with law enforcement. All you have to do is talk.
I like to speak through my actions, but still, could you be more specific?
Maybe if we could speak in private?
Alec! You've got 4 minutes, Mr. Blackmore, so... make them count.
They say you're currently involved with Al Stone, the boxer. Is that correct?
Wow. The FBI sure knows what it's doing. So, out of the 100 million Americans who know about that, who did you extort to get such highly confidential information?
Don't beat around the bush. We know why you're with him.
Oh, so you like his biceps too?
Desmond O'Leary asked you to seduce Stone. Why?
What? No, I met Al by chance at a party. A party hosted by Desmond O'Leary. No, that can't be. No one is that shrewd. Not even him. Damn, I hate that bastard.
We know about you and Desmond O'Leary.
Wow, your sagacity never ceases to amaze me. Wait, I get it. They must wrap your FBI sandwiches in gossip magazines.
The thing is, well...
You see, I'd love to wipe out that part of my past, but whatever.
Do you have any regrets?
Ads pay more than trophies. Can you believe it? Being associated with such a shady character could only damage my reputation. Trust me, never get involved with a married man.
We're aware of at least 6 rigged games during your first year as a professional player.
And?
You won all of them.
Are you trying to offend me? I give my all on the court. I can't be held accountable if my rivals don't do the same. Go interrogate them. In any case, now I know why you mentioned O'Leary. What do you really have against him? And don't say illegal gambling.
Illegal gambling.
I see you don't want to tell me.
I'm serious, Miss Moore. America can't afford to let anyone shake its foundations like that. And America's sweetheart can't afford it either. Help us out. Talk to us.
And why should I, Mr. Blackmore? What do I stand to gain or lose?
The FBI always returns a favor.
Oh yeah? Are they gonna rig my games? This is actually quite simple.
One lucky gal.
You have a light, sir?
The pearly white teeth of someone who barely smokes. Am I making her nervous? Damn. I'm almost out of fluid.
Wanna know my trick? Go down to start, then up with it, and then down again. Will I get to smoke today? Don't worry, I'm not making any assumptions about your masculinity. Will I get to smoke today? Almost. Thanks. I don't know what you want me to say. You're trying to frame O'Leary, perhaps rightfully so, but I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Believe me, if I had the slightest...
Come on, Helen. Time to work on your backhand. Let's go.
Do you smoke? Nice meeting you, Mr. Blackmore. Did you bring my water?
America's sweetheart gave you her cigarette? Dear God, she has the hots for you! I can't believe you said good old Weekly to investigate that stupid walrus while you were hanging out with Helen Moore herself! So, what do you say, you and me, we change places next time, huh?
Your turn. Now tell me, what did you find out?
You're gonna love this. You ready? I've got news, but I happen to also have a
Blacksad.
Thank you so much, Mr. Blacksad.
Huh? Oh, Mrs. Colbert.
When you told me about my husband, I kicked him out. But this morning he came back with a bouquet of roses and asked me to forgive him. He said he had some kind of big scare yesterday and that he hasn't stopped thinking about me since. He wants to take me to Niagara Falls on a second honeymoon.
And?
I threw the roses in his face and I told him to shove Niagara Falls up his ass. You think I could forget what he's done just like that?
I don't want to get into anybody's business here, but what if your husband really is sorry?
Are you telling me to give him a second chance? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. No, actually, I'd rather not say anything.
All right, but I'm gonna hold you accountable. If that two-timing rhino betrays me, I'll scratch his eyes out and I'll smash his head in. And yours, too.
But what just happened? Is there anything you didn't tell me?
Maybe. But now it's your turn. Tell me about Cassidy. Come on, spit it out.
I didn't find anything suggesting that Cassidy had anything to do with Dunn's murder, but...
That's quite the tale.
But I know Cassidy will be playing poker tonight with one Howard M. Farnham II, a Texas tycoon looking to get his claws on the boxing business. I also know that he and Cassidy have never met in person, and that Farnham, who's staying at the Balford Hotel, hasn't left his room. Apparently, he spent the night with 3 bottles of bourbon. So, here's my incredible plan. I'll go to the hotel, I'd knock him out, and then take his place in the poker game. That way, I'll get Cassidy talking. What do you think? Incredible, right?
Didn't we agree that you would handle Helen Moore while I dealt with Cassidy next time? No? Good afternoon, Mr. Farnham.
What's going on?
Allow me to introduce myself. John Blackmore. I work for Frank Cassidy. He asked me to bring you these bottles so you could choose which one you prefer for the game.
Oh, sure. I was fixing to leave, but I guess them monuments ain't going anywhere. Well, come on in then.
Getting in Farnham's room was easy. Earning his trust was another story. But I always have an ace up my sleeve.
Blackmore, you okay, partner?
The best way to earn someone's trust is to make them believe they've earned yours. And sometimes, the best way to fake it is to tell the truth. I don't know where to begin. They beat me up once. What's to say they won't do it again?
Dang. What about your boss, Cassidy? Didn't he do nothing?
Well, let's just say he's taking care of it.
Well then, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Be thankful you ain't in Texas. Sure enough, you'd have yourself a hole in the head, boy. I'll pray to our Lord Jesus so those bastards get what they deserve and you get your honor back. Now, did you know nothing heals a wound like booze?
One of the tricks of this trade is to be wary of the biases we all have. They cloud our judgment and blur the person in front of us, painting them with the shades of our preconceived notions of who they should be. But every once in a while, you run into someone so locked in personality that they can only be regarded as a stereotype. Farnham was a disgrace, not only to himself, but to Texas and the entire human race. To think I had to impersonate him. I wish I was like you. You seem so content, so free of burdens.
Stop right there, partner. You think this old dog don't have ticks? Let me tell you something about my first wife. Woo-wee!
Once I had gained Farnham's trust, the hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
What can I do for you, sir?
Howdy. My name's Howard M. Farnham II.
Okay. Should I know you? What can I do for you, sir?
Farnham was one hell of a drinker. I had to get the information out of him before he drank himself unconscious. Otherwise, I'd have to find that information myself.
Yes, I got a Vietnamese shave last night.
Oh, please, come in. Of course, I remember you. Take a seat. I'm sure you'll understand we can't be too careful. Our host has many enemies, and someone has to keep them at bay.
Sure, I get it.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, please answer my question. How much does it cost to get yourself a clean Vietnamese shave?
Yeah, sure enough, booze put the nail on the coffin of my first marriage. You know, the wife that caught me cheating with the maid. My second marriage, too. You know what I did to her daddy? Same old with several mistresses. So I decided to stick to my guns and only deal with hookers. Even if I did end up marrying some.
I feel you, Mr. Farnham. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm Cassidy's slave. He lent me the money for a game deposit, and I lost it all. Now I have to work off my debt.
Oh, Cassidy's not your problem, son. It's poverty. Sure enough, I had to pay my own deposit this morning to y'all. And that was just petty cash to me.
Petty cash, to be honest. I asked you how much.
Of course they gave me my receipts. These are the things I have, boy. Wait, I'll show you. I gotta get somewhere. Just a sec. I'll get it. I just put it over. I think I'll be right back.
Ding Dong? Interesting name for a town.
Why didn't you just say you had the receipt in your pocket? I'm almost certain, but tell me, who told you to come to this barber shop?
Let me tell you a little secret about my first wife, son boy. When I met that woman, she had no manners, no money, Poor man. Farnham. By God, if it ain't the hero of the day.
It's not going to be easy to sound Texan, but I'll give it my best shot. I probably don't need to imitate his gestures during the game, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to try. This will surely imbue me with the Texan spirit. Nothing says Texan like a cowboy hat.
I'll be damned. Yes, sir. New York City. Sure enough, I'm fixing to play poker with him.
Knowing Farnham, the owner of this bra only came here for business.
Boxing at the Grand Ole. Anyway, Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother. Craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
My good old friend Kenny, craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
You know how many Kennys there are in New York? Kenny who?
So besides when and where the game will be, the password, and the money Farnham dished out, what else do I need? Not even a Bible. Ding Dong? Interesting name for a town. They smell like a party. At least it's comforting to know that when Farnham drinks too much, his female companions have less of a hard time.
Kenny. Hey, you think you can't be friends with someone and not know their last name?
Let me think. No.
My good old friend Kenny. Craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
You know how many Kennys there are in New York? Kenny who?
So besides when and where the game will be, the password, and the money Farnham dished out, what else do I need? Luckily, there was only one Kinney in Farnham's address book, Kinney Eakes, residing at...
Cornell Plaza, Manhattan. Stunning penthouse.
I'm not surprised. Mr. Eakes has excellent taste. Do you happen to know what he asked for the last time he was here?
Ding Dong? Interesting name for a town. They smell like a party.
Don't tell me, Billy Bob. This here is my new friend Father. Am I right?
Sure enough, but your slasher friend sure could learn how to treat his customers.
Hey, Billy Bob, come on. This guy's a good guy. He's one of us.
My apologies, sir.
Hey, come on. Let's get in there before they finish all the bourbon without us.
I haven't frisked him yet, sir.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Mr. Farnham here, he's an honest Texan. And I'm sure he'll hand over his weapon if we ask him to. Right?
Are you going to hand over the gun or not?
You know what? I'm starting to think that you're not trustworthy. And I hate wasting my time. Yeah, but the bad thing is, it'll be just 3 of us playing tonight. Billy Bob? Don't tell me, Billy Bob. This here is my new friend Father. Am I right?
Sure enough, your barber was fixing to give me a shave.
You can get a good shave at another time. Billy Bob is always at our beck and call.
Of course.
Hey, come on. Let's get in there before they finish all the bourbon without us.
I haven't frisked him yet, sir.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Mr. Farnham here, he's an honest Texan. And I'm sure he'll hand over his weapon if we ask him to. Right?
I would if I had a gun on me, but I don't.
Are you kidding me? An unarmed Texan?
I already told you, I'm not carrying a gun.
That doesn't sound like the man Kenny told me about. And you know what? I've had enough. Billy Bob. Don't tell me, Billy Bob. This here is my new friend Father. Am I right?
Sure enough, but your slasher friend sure could learn how to treat his customers.
Hey, Billy Bob, come on. This guy's a good guy. He's one of us.
My apologies, sir.
Hey, come on. Let's get in there before they finish all the bourbon without us.
I haven't frisked him yet, sir.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Mr. Farnham here, he's an honest Texan. And I'm sure he'll hand over his weapon if we ask him to. Right?
Are you going to hand over the gun or not?
You know what? I'm starting to think that you're not trustworthy. And I hate wasting my time. Yeah, but the bad thing is, it'll be just 3 of us playing tonight. Billy Bob?
Cornell Plaza, Manhattan, stunning penthouse.
I'm not surprised. Mr. Eakes has excellent taste. Do you happen to know what he asked for the last time he was here?
A Vietnamese shave.
No. You seriously don't know?
A nice big pompadour, like all them country and western singers.
No, not that. Think about it.
The same haircut as John Tracy, the actor.
No, come on. You know this.
No matter how superficial someone may seem, there's always a way to win their heart.
Don't tell me, Billy Bob. This here is my new friend Fun. Am I right?
Sure enough, but your slasher friend sure could learn how to treat his customers.
Hey, Billy Bob, come on. This guy's a good guy. He's one of us.
My apologies, sir.
Hey, come on. Let's get in there before they finish all the bourbon without us.
I haven't frisked him yet, sir.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Mr. Farnham here, he's an honest Texan. And I'm sure he'll hand over his weapon if we ask him to. Right?
Sure, but you better take good care of my girl.
It'll be my pleasure.
Welcome, gentlemen. Chips are on the table and guns are in the safe. Now, we got a lovely night of poker ahead of us full of smoking and bourbon. So let's get started. Take a seat, Mr. Farnham. Let me introduce you. To my right, wearing gray boxers and weighing in at 140 pounds, the owner of Pink Vice, the largest meat market in all of Manhattan.
In other words, a real son of a bitch. No offense to the women he exploits.
Our reigning champion, Oswald Quince.
A title I aim to keep, provided our new contender here doesn't interfere.
Y'all are dealing with the worst player in Texas.
You're just trying to make me overconfident, aren't you?
The truth is that our friend Farnham owns the largest and, I dare say, most entertaining establishment in Texas.
Really? So we're colleagues then?
Yeah, you wish, Quince. He owns a casino.
Damn.
And it's not even in Austin or Dallas. It's actually in a little town called, what was it? Darn it. I looked it up the other day. Had a funny ring to it. I hate it when this happens.
I thought they moved all Texan casinos to Vegas, where gambling is legal.
You mean Ding Dong, Texas?
Ding dong! That's it.
Who'd ever think of a name like that?
Well, casino or no casino, let's just hope he doesn't keep as many aces up his sleeve as the late Ventimiglia, huh?
Amen.
To my left, wearing brown boxers and weighing in at 396 pounds.
Frank, show some respect, huh?
The hospitality tycoon, no.
Tycoon? I just own a small bar with pool tables. Clients drink close to nothing and play even less, but certain business transactions just couldn't happen anywhere else.
Damn it, Paulie. Why don't I know your last name?
Because they took it away from me. You have no idea how good my ex-wife's lawyer is.
Women, they even take our damn names.
You're too much, Paulie.
When you're done sightseeing, why don't you drop by La Iguana for a game of pool? And I'll buy you a drink. But I have to warn you, my clientele isn't crazy about furry fellas such as yourself.
Thanks. I love me some pool.
Perfect. It'll be my pleasure.
You looking to start your own pool business, Farnham? This guy here wants to start a boxing association in Texas. Guess who he's turning to for advice?
To be honest, several things got me worried, so I'd be much obliged for any counseling.
So, what worries you?
Having to compete with illegal gamblers like that old Leary fella.
Oh? One would almost think that you live in New York, my friend. That son of a bitch killed one of my men and left the poor bastard on my damn porch. But he's a goner now. Ever since the sport got put on TV, people want a fair game, honest boxers, and no shady business. You can't break the law anymore like before. Nowadays, they gotta bribe those big network executives to negotiate for broadcasting rights. Billy Bob, bring out the bourbon. We're drying up here. I'll deal with a fresh deck, of course. We respect traditions in this establishment.
Poker is as boring as it is simple. All you need to do is read people's faces. And even the worst detective has that trick up his sleeve. The real issue is knowing what to play for when there's much more than just money at stake.
Damn it! What, again?
How many games have you won in a row, Quince?
And here I was hoping that Farnham would steal your championship belt.
Congratulations, Farnham. You're bad as hell, but at least you know it. Mark my words, Farnham will be calling his wife before the night is over.
Ha! Oh, hey, by the way, you guys hear about Kenny's wife? Pretty tragic, huh?
What happened?
Oh, plain bad luck. Hey, but Farnham, I'm sure you know more about it than I do.
Anyway, Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother. Craziest goddamn Texan in New York. And the poor fella's already got enough on his hands now that his wife...
Tell me more about your first wife.
Oh, right. Where were we? Same difference. Another drink? Oh, seriously, where were we? All right. We was fixing to have another drink. Hey, it's coming back to me now. We were talking about my wife, right? One of them. Same difference. Oh, Lord.
Damn! I don't like waiting. Kenny won't like it, but I'm not gonna sit here wondering. Billy Bob, pass me the phone. Come on!
Sometimes you get the feeling that it's all gone wrong, that you've made a terrible mistake. Sorry, did I say sometimes? Huh. No, that only happens once in a lifetime.
Mark my words, Farnham will be calling his wife before the night is over.
Ha! Oh, hey, by the way, you guys hear about Kenny's wife? Pretty tragic, huh?
What happened?
Oh, plain bad luck. Hey, but Farnham, I'm sure you know more about it than I do.
Anyway, Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother. Craziest goddamn Texan in New York. And the poor fella's already got enough on his hands now that his wife. Women just gotta have their vices. But she's in a rehab clinic now, hooked on tranquilizers and all that.
That's it, tranquilize. Don't tell me women don't have their vices too. Bring out the bourbon, Billy Bob. Come on, give me the bourbon.
Maybe I spoke too soon when I said that poker is easy for a good detective. Even when you play to lose, it's best to win the occasional hand to avoid suspicion. But with Quince, it was just impossible.
Well, I'll be damned! I don't believe this!
See what we mean, Farnham?
I still don't get why you keep coming for more, boys. I'm starting to think you all lose on purpose. In which case, you're about to have a blast.
Poor Farnham. Came looking to make big bucks in the city with his boxing, and he's gonna lose it all with poker.
I hope your counseling will make up for it.
Yeah, so how can I be of help?
Those there athletes hooking up with each other, like Al Stone and Helen Moore.
I see you subscribe to What's News. Yeah, my star boxer, the reigning champion. He's having an affair with America's sweetheart. Hey, I got nothing against those two idiots falling in love. Don't get me wrong, but it's taking a toll on his performance. I don't think he'll lose against Yale, but I'm starting to worry a bit. You happy now?
Sure thing. Although, there is something else.
Come on, spit it out. I want to play.
Homicidal boxers like Bobby Yale.
Ha! That's some piece of news, huh? Hey, I don't know if he did it, but the real problem is that the fight against my champ Stone might not even frickin' happen. The good news is that I've almost convinced the governor to let him out of prison on the day of the fight. Under police escort, that is. I bet you the audience gets a kick out of that. Come on, let's steal another hand before Quince accuses us of trying to break his winning streak.
Ain't gonna happen. Gentlemen, I suggest you never tell your sons about this game, unless you want to lose their respect.
Wait, you mean our sons actually respect us?
I hear you. There's no way to set boys straight these days. They don't even respond to a good old beating.
I dare say Texan boys do respond to a good beating.
Hey, careful, Quince. You're talking to a pro. So, Kenny told me you had quite a house full.
How many kids you got in that house full of yours?
No, that son of a bitch was about to choke on his own vomit. Sure, the sight of a millionaire choking on his own vomit had a certain poetic quality. Even so, I couldn't just stand there and watch him die. Unfortunately, I didn't break a sweat trying to save him.
How many kids you got in that house full of yours?
No, that son of a bitch was about to choke on his own vomit. Sure, the sight of a millionaire choking on his own vomit had a certain poetic quality. Even so, I couldn't just stand there and watch him die. No, deserving or not, the man would live.
something. I don't know how you deal with all of them.
All boys?
Does it have to be now?
Oh, never let Quince near one of your daughters.
Come on, Folly. Children are sacred. I won't lay
Cassidy.
a finger on them until they're 12. After that, well... let's just say... some men have needs that can only be met by a young girl that age. If you know what I mean. Are you alright, Farnham?
There goes your winning streak, you sick bastard.
Sooner or later, the police are gonna bust your ass. Quince.
What the hell are you talking about?
I bet you're as bad at hiding those poor girls as you are at keeping that ace up your sleeve.
What? You lying piece of shit.
Quince?
Don't believe a word he's saying, Frank.
Don't you dare call me Frank. Billy Bob.
It's 500 more. Huh. For washing up.
It's a deal. And good call, Father. I owe you one. Please, take that flying scumbag's tokens. And mine too, if you want them. I'm feeling generous. Hey, turns out the governor accepted my suggestion to let Bobby Yale out of prison on the day of the fight. Hey, this is turning out to be the perfect night. If you decide to go ahead with your new venture, call me, Farnham.
Your behavior at last night's game was utterly insulting. Never contact me again or I'll put an end to your pathetic life. If our common acquaintance should ask you about your business endeavors, tell him that boxing is too violent for you. Signed, Frank Cassidy. My own tracks would be covered the following morning when Cassidy read this note from Farnham.
Dear Mr. Cassidy, although I'm grateful for your kind help, last night's game made me realize that boxing is just too violent for a peaceful Texan like myself. I have decided to invest elsewhere. Yours sincerely, Howard M. Farnham II. Damn Texans.
As for me, it was the first time in days that I had gone to bed without my daily bath. A real shame. Nothing like a bruised body to help you to sleep like a baby. Maybe I should have given myself a beating. Blacksad.
Finally, I need you at the gym now, please. It was like this when I got here.
When did you get here?